Hey out there, it's Wake Angel 2001, and we're doing another Sonic Boom vlog. Today, Sonic goes to the circus in, what was this? What was the episode called? It was, it was some kind of pun, like, circus, like it was a pirate circus thing? I don't remember. I could look up the tape, but I'm already recording, so what the heck. Alright, so the episode starts with Dr. Eggman is using an octopus robot to attack Sonic and his friends. And everybody is making fun of the octopus robot by calling it the squid robot, the spider robot, the yada yada yada. And Eggman's like, I'll stop you with my squid robot! I mean octopus! You have me doing it now! Tails, flying in his plane, tries to use an experimental new weapon called the deboulderizer for some reason. And I'm like, deboulderizer? What kind of name is deboulderizer? Is it something that, like, makes boulders go away? Like, you have a boulder, and you don't have a boulder because it was deboulderized? Well, Tails shoots it, and it's a laser. And the laser bounces off the robot and hits the mountain, causing a rock slide. Now everyone's dodging the rocks, Knuckles is punching them out of the air, thinking that he's like a big old badass, until a huge one flattens him into the dirt. He's like, I can do this all day! I can use a breather. So, Sonic, Tails, Sonic and his friends, they all work together, they get rid of the stupid thing. The Eggman separates his egg pod and flies away, telling them to research cephalopods for the future. And then it's time for Tails' guilt trip. Styx accuses him of being a double agent for almost killing them all, and Tails, in a state of depression, he says that he's gonna go fix his machine so that it won't pose a threat to anyone. So he flies off in the plane, and Sonic tries to tell him that everything's okay, but Tails turns off his communicator, because, he's too ashamed. So everyone's kind of standing around for a second when a big old land train drives by. It turns out it's a traveling circus, but the circus employees, they all ate some bad sushi and they can't perform today. So the guy, what's his name? RCDB, I don't know. So the dude, the Ringmaster guy, he says that all he has left is the stage equipment and 2 stunt bears, and there's a couple of bears like ride unicycles, like bears on unicycles. I'm kind of, spoiler alert, the bears don't really have lines, which I find kind of disappointing because that would have been the perfect time to use a Russian accent. Like on Family Guy, they had the bears on unicycles thing. That would have been a perfect time to get the bears Russian accents and be funny. But nope, the bears don't actually talk. That's the thing with a comedy show. Whenever there's an opportunity for a joke that's missed, you have to point it out. That's how you criticize comedy. So Sonic and his friends all agree to do the circus thing. Well, actually, Sonic doesn't volunteer at first, but then the guy makes it sound like Sonic doesn't want to because he's not capable. So Sonic's like, I am totally capable. So they go into a performance thing, like Knuckles gets shot out of a cannon. Sonic does that wheel you put them in the giant circular cage and they did the wheel of death thing, like what you would normally do with a motorcycle. Amy gets cast as the sad clown, and she thinks she's getting the crap job because she's a girl, but then Styx is an acrobat, which makes me wonder why is Styx the only acrobat? Isn't an acrobatic show, like, especially with trapeze artists, usually performed by a team of people? I mean, we've seen in the video game, Amy's very agile. She should totally have been a trapeze artist with Styx. That would have made so much more sense than have only one trapeze artist. So the performance goes on, and everybody loves everybody. Like, Amy juggles. It says, you're supposed to sympathize for the sad clown. And then she drops the juggling things on her head, and everybody laughs. But, it's kind of funny. When he makes her the sad clown, he says he puts this hat on her. It's like this cute little beret. But then when the circus starts, she's, like, wearing the nose and the big wig, like a regular clown. Like, why didn't they stick with the beret look? I don't get it. Why change the look from one scene to the next? Although this is another time where they're actually taking the time to make the characters look different. You know, remember what I said way back in the beginning, how CGI models can be expensive to render, so they tend not to change their appearances. But this is a show that goes that extra mile and makes the characters look different for an episode. Something that you don't normally see unless it's like a hand-drawn show like Adventure Time or something like that. Alright, so they finished the performance, and Sonic says that it was fun, they should do it again sometime, and that's when the Ringmaster reveals his evil plan. He's actually keeping them prisoner there. It turns out that his previous troop didn't get sick, it's that they escaped. So he locks Sonic in the giant hamster wheel and puts everybody in cages and threatens and says that they're going to be forced to perform for him. Amy says that there's no real way that they're possibly going to be able to stop them. And says, but what about the children? And he was like, oh, the children. To which I say, bullcrap. These are 4 superheroes. One of them has super strength, one of them has super speed, one can summon forth a magical hammer that can smash steel with her will, and the other is an insane feral badger girl who's, like, lived in the wild for all her life and shit. The very instant he opens those cages the next day for them to perform, they are going to pound him into the dirt. I mean... Oh, wait, no. It turns out that he's been buying equipment from Eggman. Yeah, he has a big that spinning wheel of death thing that he has Sonic in. It's a super powerful cage that can't be broken or anything, so Sonic can't get out of it. And he has Motobugs. Yeah, I mean, he has an army of Motobugs on hand. There's like 5 Motobugs. I mean, do you have any idea how dangerous 5 Motobugs could be? I mean, it could take all of 15 seconds for them to smash those to pieces. 15 seconds! Yeah, I don't think that the circus guy is any kind of credible threat. Meanwhile, what has Tails been up to? He's been tinkering in the lab trying to get his deboulderizer to work. He shoots at a test target, but it again bounces off the test target and goes flying off. And then they cut away to Eggman, who's watching TV in his fortress, when a laser comes and zaps his remote. Like, oh, piece of junk. And then it happens later. So that was what Tails was doing. Now we go back to the circus, and Tails, having fixed his machine, puts his communicator back on and calls Sonic to tell him he fixed the communicator. And Sonic is like, Tails, we've been kidnapped! And like, wow, really? Oh crap, the battery's about to die. Hold on, I gotta plug my camera in. Okay, now we don't need to concern ourselves with dying batteries. Where'd I leave off? Oh yeah, help, we've been kidnapped by a circus guy! So that's another thing. This circus guy is completely incompetent as a bad guy. He didn't even do anything to block their communications. I mean, like, imagine if someone threw you into a dungeon, but you still had your cell phone and all the reception you needed and everything. That's like, that doesn't... I mean, what? This guy's... I mean, first of all, he has freaking Motobugs, probably the most basic, weakest badnik ever to be his army. Then he imprisons people in cages, but leaves them with their communications, knowing they still have a friend outside. Because he says he knows Sonic and his friends by reputation. Therefore, he knows that that's not the entire team there. Oh yeah, this guy. I don't know, but how much of an arch-villain can you expect this circus guy to be? Well, actually, there's quite a long tradition of evil circus masters. So yeah, this guy, he is disappointing as a villain. He can't even live up to the reputation of the evil circus master trope. Okay, so I'm going to say Ringmaster because someone's going to nitpick that. So we're continuing. Tails, now that he has his demolderizer working, he flies in on that little bathtub plane. Yeah, look at that, 2 episodes in a row, the plane's important. And he comes in and he lays siege to the circus, he has a grapple that pulls a tent up, and he has his he shoots the cages open so everyone can escape, and there's a fight scene, and a stray laser from the demolderizer goes back, and just as Eggman finishes repairing his remote, the laser comes in and blows it up again. He's like, oh, come on! So there's the fight scene, the circus guy's defeated, and then Sonic sticks him in his own little hamster ball cage, and the guy's in the cage like, help, help, let me out! And somehow it's on Eggman's TV. And I'm wondering where the camera is set up. I mean, is it a camera from one of the Motobugs? Does Dr. Eggman have surveillance cameras in his badnik so he can look at the circus for free? But somehow it's on his TV, and he says, and he finally fixes the remote for a second time, and is like, finally, now I can turn off this trick. And he does the thing where he points the TV at the screen, and it turns the show off. That kind of fourth wall humor. And that's where the episode ends. Well, Dr. Eggman's invention this time, the Octobot, looked pretty cool. I mean, it had those legs, or choom, 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 choom. That was kind of cool. I like the Eggman attack. The idea of the characters joining a circus, it was pretty nice. But the thing is, this whole evil circus thing is outright cliche. It's been done in almost literally everything. I'm pretty sure this was done in an episode of Thundercats and Ben 10, and it happened in Adventure Time, and Regular Show did it, I believe. Like this is the gang joins a circus, and it turns out that the Ringmaster is enslaving people. This is literally one of the most cliche, overused plots in the history of ever. It actually would have been a better twist if the Ringmaster wasn't evil. Here's an alternate plot point. The Ringmaster has badniks in his circus. Let's say, instead of using him as his personal guard to prevent Sonic and his friends from escaping, he buys surplus badness from Eggman to perform. This is actually something that happens in both the video games and the comics. In Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, Dr. Eggman runs a company called Mediotech, which sells security robots. It explains how he makes his money for his world-conquering scheme. And in the comic book right now, he actually does sell his outdated or damaged badniks to surplus buyers, and Breezy the Hedgehog is one of his clients. He sells his badniks for profit. This is something that Dr. Eggman does. But so yeah, there's no problem with this guy having badniks that he bought from Eggman. But let's say it's this way. Instead of using them as a guard to prevent his performers from escaping, he uses them as performers. He has the badniks in the circus, and he says that, and yes, maybe all of his living performers did legitimately get sick, and he just needs temporary replacements. And he says, I have the badniks, but I can't run the entire show with just them. So Sonic and his friends volunteer to help. But Dr. Eggman is monitoring the circus through the badniks, and he realizes that, and he sees that with Sonic and his friends performing, this is his chance to destroy them. So he remote controls the badniks and makes them attack them on the floor. And let's say this is during the performance, so they have to find a way to thwart the badniks without breaking the show. They can't scare the children in the audience. They can't disappoint anybody, and they gotta make sure that no civilians get hurt. Then, all of a sudden, you have stakes. You have a reason for all the characters to be in the circus, and you have a plot that's not completely cliched. So yeah, I mean, come on. Come on, it's like the year 2015. You guys have to know how cliched the evil Ringmaster trope is by now. I mean, I'm pretty sure there were at least 3 Goosebumps books about this. Those are books I read when I was a kid. So, that's my opinion of the show. It was an incredibly cliched plot, which you could see coming from 1,000 miles away. And just off the top of my head, I was able to think of a better twist on this trope. So, yeah, I'm afraid that this time it has kind of disappointed me. This is an episode for younger kids, someone who hasn't experienced a lot of the world and hasn't seen a lot of media before, and therefore is unaware of how cliche the evil Ringmaster thing is. Like, I'm sure there are some 5-year-olds who are completely surprised, like, the Ringmaster's evil? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some little kids out there who've never seen any other cartoons before, who were probably surprised by the evil Ringmaster idea, but seriously, this is Sonic the Hedgehog. You know by now that the median age of the Sonic the Hedgehog fan base is in its mid-20s. So, you gotta know that there's gonna be some people watching your show for whom this is gonna be a tired old cliche. And, you really should have done better. You should have done better. Okay. So, yeah, I can be critical to the show. Yeah, I said that I was going to be doing a weekly vlog series and I'm going to share my opinions. And if I think an episode didn't do very well, I'm going to say that it didn't do very well. So, yep. This is going with the Town of Annoying Guilt Trippers as an episode that I did not really think was all that great. So, this has been Wake Angel 2001, and this was episode 12. I'm not sure if they're going to go with a 13-episode season or a 26-episode season, or maybe if this was the last episode of the season. So we're just going to have to keep watching, and I'll let you know next week. Alright, so bye now.